All right, much more on Dick Cheney. First to something he saw coming, and we saw coming too, the ever-changing definition of exactly who is rich. Instead of tax hikes kicking in at around $250,000, the Wall Street Journal reporting the threshold is actually more like $235,000. My next guest says it's going to keep dropping. Mark Thiessen was one of President George W. Bush's speechwriters. Mark, we should explain that with allowances and exemptions and all that sort of thing, and some of those benefits taken away, that's how you get to that lower threshold for these higher taxes.
Sure.
You suspect it's going to go still lower. Why?
Oh, sure. No, well, what we're learning here is that Joe the Plumber was right. You remember when Joe the Plumber confronted Barack Obama and said, I'm going to be paying higher taxes, and he said, no, only if you're making more than $250,000. Well, now it turns out it's going to be $235,000, and it's going to go down to $200 or $250. And the reason is this is not about taxes. This is about spending. The Obama administration is on a spending spree. They've spent, just passed a 1.3 with interest, $1.3 trillion stimulus plan, and that doesn't count the $3.5 trillion budget that they passed. That doesn't include the cost of their health care plan that they're proposing, which is estimated at $1.6 trillion over 10 years. And then you got the climate change policies and any other bailouts that they want to do for the auto industry. So you're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars in spending. You can't pay for that just by taxing people who make over $250,000.
Now, there's going to be a little later in the show, Mark, but I tried to get the vice president to quantify where he sees taxes going. He's afraid this is just a warm-up. And we know in Britain the top rate now is 60%. A lot of people listen to that and say, well, the rich can afford to pay more, and that's just the top guys. But even people hearing you and I speak right now are saying, well, $235,000, that's still a lot of money. How low do you think it goes before people see tax hikes?
Well, they're talking already about a national energy tax that you will pay every time in order to pay for this climate change cap and trade, that you're going to pay every time you go turn on your lights, turn on your air conditioning, go to the gas station. An MIT study says that's going to cost about $3,000 per family. The Democrats in Congress are talking about a tax on soda and sugary drinks. So they're actually going to tax the Kool-Aid you have to drink to believe this guy. They're talking, remember on the campaign trail when he attacked John McCain for proposing taxing health benefits. Well, guess what? Now the Obama administration is considering that. And the reason is, again, spending. There is not enough money. If you just tax people making over $250,000 or $235,000 under his plan, you only get about $600 billion over 10 years. They're talking about trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of new spending, and it's just there are not enough rich people in America to pay for all that.
Unless the economy booms, right? That's what they're
Even
hoping.
if the economy booms. Listen,
right.
50 years ago in America, we spent about 20% of GDP on government spent about 20% of GDP. Next year, it's going to be 35%. In Britain, it's 40. France and Italy, it's about 50 or so. We're moving towards this European-style system where you have you pay most of your money over in taxes, and you get all sorts of benefits. But they're trying to tell middle-class Americans you're going to get it for free.
Mark, leave my countrymen of Italy out of this. All right, Mark, very good having you. Appreciate it. Well, you know, Dick